As of right now, we have about 4 weeks-ish, more or less, to get this car put back together. If we don't make it in that timeline, I will graduate from college and then I have 2 weeks left on my lease at this house. During those 2 weeks, I'll basically just be here working on this every single day. But I'm trying to get it to the point where the car at least like cranks by the time graduation rolls around. That'd be kind of nice, and we should be able to get pretty close. So today we're gonna get the cylinder head back on the engine block and start really piecing this thing together. The reason I'm trying to get the engine in the car as soon as possible is because we also have to fabricate quite a bit of stuff to do the turbo swap with the front mount intercooler and all these things. So there's a lot to come in the following weeks. Not so much putting the engine together, but more so doing all the small things that go along with that. And in the last couple weeks, I've been working on some stuff behind the scenes, trying to get parts ready for this. And as much as I wanted to make a video about it, it's not really worth the time to show it all because I was just like taking all these components and glass beading them and painting them. So a lot of the bracketry is gonna have this nice like semi-gloss black, and I think that will match pretty well with this kind of like aluminum gray look we've got going on here. But with that being said, I think that's about everything for now. The first step today is actually just gonna be getting the head bolted on this thing, finally.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, are you busy right now?
I'm gonna be a little bit, dude. I'm going to Newport.
You're going where?
To Newport? Why, what's up?
I'm trying to time the motor and I can't, like I don't have enough hands.
Oh.
I was wondering if you could stop by for like 5 minutes.
I can stop by for 5 minutes, I think. It's so funny you just called me, because I kid you not, like I'll send you a screenshot, but I was doing this thing while you were calling me, and I was looking up Mazda Protege5.
You're gonna do exhaust,
All
so you're just gonna hold this guy
Alright.
like that for now.
For sure.
Now you get son of a bitch. There. Okay.
Nice.
That's you. Okay. Dude, I don't understand how this is supposed to... Yeah, go clockwise a little more.
A little bit more.
Like one more tooth. There we go. Okay. Now...
Alright.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna remove the tensioner
And then put it-
in
yeah,
there.
that'd
Alright,
be
can
a
you
good idea.
use that hand and just hold that?
Yeah, sure. Got you.
Oh shit.
What?
I
What's
need
up?
this socket. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Okay, now, Ravine, you're gonna turn yours counterclockwise a little bit.
How much?
Just-
With a tooth?
Yeah. Ooh.
More?
Wait, let me think. Go clockwise again. Okay. Now what's gonna happen is when we tighten this guy,
Yeah.
it's gonna
That would make sense, yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
it's gonna rotate it back. Yeah, but see how then
How
I
you
don't
get it
understand
in
how
now?
you're supposed to do that.
That's fine. That works. Right?
We'll find out.
You have a spring puller?
A what?
A spring puller.
I think you're making that up.
No, I swear to God, that's an
I
actual
am
thing.
the spring puller.
No, well, I guess if it's not a super strong spring, you can pull it
It's
by
not
yourself.
that strong.
Really?
Dude, I just stretched it by hand. Oh, Christ.
Oh,
I think you're making that up.
Ooh.
Oh, come on.
God, dude, that's so scary. Nice. Nice.
Did it work?
I think so. Hold up.
Okay, guys, let go.
Alright.
Just fly.
Yeah,
Everything
just-
flies.
Timing marks look good.
Let me see.
They're never. You're literally putting your head in front of the camera.
Oh, well, I just washed my hair today, so.
Dang, looking.
Those time marks are, like, they're easy to see now, but I was just like, wait.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Like, what?
Yeah, when I was trying to figure this out, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because it said, like, line up the I and the E, and I was like, that's not good
How
enough.
is that? Yeah, exactly. It's so off.
Yeah. All right, moment of truth.
All right.
Got compression.
Oh, wait, yeah. You know, it'd be easier to just pull out the spinner if you took the spark plugs out, right?
Shut up! I'm doing the ear compression test.
God.
Yeah, we definitely have good compression.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right.
And there's 2 rotations.
Nice.
It's tits, bro.
Nice.
It's perfect.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, cool.
All right, so now we just gotta fire it up and listen to the rock.
Yeah, turn it on.
Damn. All right. Well, shit. Well, thank you guys so
Yeah, man.
much. Seriously.
What else do you have to do?
I don't know. Okay, so with the help of some friends, we've got the motor timed properly. It's a really good feeling because I was kind of stressed about getting all these things functioning, but the motor turns over. It seems like it has pretty good compression. Obviously, I haven't compression tested it yet, but you know, it's got the sound of good compression in the feel. And so I've gone ahead and put some of these other miscellaneous brackets on here. Now, if you guys remember a few months ago, I guess it was coming up on a year now, like 10 months ago, I made a sound system for the Protege. And then I don't think I ever addressed it in a video, but I later found out that I couldn't power the sound system because my amplifiers were going to draw like 50 amps or something like that. It was like a crazy amount. The stock alternator on the car is an 80 amp alternator. So as you might imagine, there's not quite enough power for the sound system and all the other load from the car. So I've been looking for a high output alternator solution for this car for a while. There are a couple that I've seen that are like $400, and that is just ridiculous. And they provide like 300 amps, which is just kind of like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can't have too much amperage, but I just don't need that much from the alternator, and I don't want to spend $400 on an alternator. So after doing some digging, I found this alternator. So this is sort of a middle ground. It's 165 amps. The thing about this one is it's advertised for the 98 to 01 Protege, but as far as I can tell, the plugs are exactly the same. There are a couple minor differences, but I don't think it's anything that's going to keep us from running this alternator on the car. So the plug and the ground wire connections are in slightly different locations, but it looks like if I really wanted to, I could maybe swap it over, but I'm not going to worry about it. This wire has plenty of play. It's not like it's a super tight tolerance or anything like that. So I'm going to try this alternator. I'm really hoping that it works because other than that, I think that location is the only difference. The pulleys are exactly the same and the mounting brackets are the same. So we're going to give this alternator a shot. But if this works, then that means that the Protege and Mazda Speed Protege community has a better option for a higher output alternator as opposed to the factory 80 amp alternator, because that is just ridiculously low. Like 80 amps, there's no room for fun in there. 165, much better, but it's going to save me from the $400 price point. Alright, so this thing is really starting to come together. Of course, this is a bit of a rough mock-up because I'm missing a few things here and there. So just a quick rundown. I don't have the timing covers yet. I have old ones, but these things are just really gross. I tried cleaning them a bit and they just, like the plastic itself is really worn. So I bought a new set. Luckily they weren't very expensive, but they're not gonna be here until sometime next week. Hopefully, I don't know exactly. They were like the one thing that was taking forever to ship. So that's a little unfortunate, but that can wait for the time being. I'm also waiting on bolts for the intake and exhaust manifolds. So I ordered new hardware. That'll be here on Monday. This is not the turbo that we're gonna be running. This one is actually like comically blown up. Like It's like really bad. This is just like some Chinese turbo. So we're not gonna be running this, but this is the wastegate, the manifold, and the downpipe that we're gonna be using. I need to order new gaskets for the turbo. I also need to get a pair of snap ring pliers because I believe we're gonna clock the turbo either 90 degrees so it's out or 180 so it points down. And that's because of the intercooler setup. You guys will see more about that soon. I also need to clean up the thermostat housing. I have one down here and it's just really gross. So probably gonna do the same treatment that I did with all these other brackets and things like that. I noticed that the AC compressor bracket is broken right here. This thing is sheared off. There's supposed to be like a loop here. I don't know if it's important, but I am gonna go ahead and steal the one off of that engine down there because I don't want to be running broken stuff. I don't know what's up with that. I need to put the oil pan on as well. That's the only thing that's missing on the underside here. So I'll finish cleaning up the bolts for the oil pan. They were all just like super crusty, so we'll get that on there. This thing is nearly complete. We still have to do the fuel system. So I'm gonna be reusing a lot of the Protege5 components here because the fuel system, as far as I know, is completely identical. We did the VTCS delete. I haven't mentioned this in the video yet, but the stock manifold has these little flaps. It's for like emissions, and also if you're naturally aspirated, they kind of trip the flow to get turbulent flow going into the manifold. But when you're boosted, of course, you don't want that. You don't need the variable valve, whatever. When the machinist did all this work for me, he also drilled these out and put galley plugs in them. So there's one here, and there's also one kind of tucked in there. You can see it. So to make sure we don't get a check engine light, I'll still be running the solenoids, but the solenoids aren't going to connect anything. And luckily this is just like a 2-pin system, so there's not a feedback loop. So we shouldn't get a check engine light, I don't think. Maybe there's some weird way that it can sense that they're not working, but I don't believe it does. So the last thing I want to discuss in today's upload is the transmission. So the reason there wasn't a video for the last few weeks wasn't because I wasn't working on it. It's because I started recording a video about this transmission. So this one's the stock Protege5 transmission. That one's from a Mazda Speed Protege. We are still gonna do the swap, but I just don't, like, I'm not equipped to rebuild that transmission. So for the time being, this is gonna stay, but I recorded a whole video about it, and you guys will just see that later this year once I'm back in Portland and I have the means to get this done. But for now, we're just gonna run the stock Protege5 transmission. It kind of sucks because I'm gonna have to do the transmission swap again, but now that I've gotten this whole drivetrain pulled out of the car before, like, it's not that bad to get the transmission out of there. But that is what happened there. That's why there wasn't an upload last week. So a little unfortunate, but we're still kind of playing the waiting game on parts, so not much happening anyway. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap today's video up here. Tomorrow, Daniel will be back and we're gonna be working with the intercooler because I haven't even shown you guys that yet, but he is unavailable today and I wanna make it a separate video about it. I didn't wanna do the intercooler in this video too because, you know, YouTube's a game, right? You gotta have those thumbnails, right? Every step of the build. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.